I greet the YouTube community. Today we're doing another video of the Christmas series of the traditional Greek Christmas series. And it's kind of a mission impossible because you remember kouroubiades the other time? That's the one of the two main treats on a Christmas Greek table. The other is Melomakarona, which actually is soft cookies but with lots of honey. As the word says, melo is honey. So we're going to do it the vegan way, and we're going to make a vegan honey. I've researched that a lot on how to make vegan honey, and I found that the simplest and best recipe to use is the one from Connie's Rawsome Kitchen, and the link will be below, of course. Okay, so let's go make our honey first. You'll need apples, cane sugar, lime, chamomile, and water, of course, and some maple syrup. We'll first infuse some chamomile tea for a couple of minutes. We'll peel and chop our apples and blend them. We'll add our tea in the blender. Now, over our pot, we'll use a clean cloth to strain the apple juice. Kind of like so. So you have here approximately 2 cups of pure apple juice, maybe a little bit of pulp, but that's okay. To which we'll add 1.25 cups of cane sugar, the juice of half a lime, as well as 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. Turn on the heat on high and patiently wait for a mixture to become thicker. After the first boil, we'll lower the heat at medium-high and stir from time to time. This will take about 20 to 30 minutes. To check the consistency, we take a spoon out, we let it cool, and then we check if it's thick. It's thickish, but it needs another 10 minutes in my opinion.
A few moments later.
Now that's better. It's nice and thick now, and it's going to get thicker and thicker as time goes by, as it cools off. So I'm going to now put it in a pot. Okay, and now we're ready. We're going to be needing 1 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of, believe it or not, beer, 1/4 cup of orange juice, 1/4 cup of sugar, about 1/2 kilogram or 1 pound of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of carnation. And then we'll also need some ground walnuts and of course our honey for the syrup. But let's begin with the Melomakarona, and then we'll talk about the syrup. We'll need 2 bowls for that. In one bowl, we'll pour all the liquid ingredients. I have blood orange juice here, that's why it's so red, and the beer, and we'll stir. We will not be using any kind of mixer, only a spoon for this recipe. Then we'll add the cinnamon and the carnation, half of it, because we're going to be needing the other half for later. To that mix, we'll add 1/4 cup of sugar, and then use another bowl to mix the flour together with the baking powder and the baking soda and mix it up well. Now we'll add our flour mixture little by little on the liquid mixture, and we'll stir it only with a spoon. Then at a point you will need to use your hands, but just do not knead it a lot. It will give you a dough which is oily but doesn't stick in the hands, which is exactly what you want. Let's get to work. So we'll get small pieces like that. Do not knead it a lot. We make small cookies like that, like this, and we keep a distance between them because they're going to rise while cooking. There we go. And now we're going to use a fork to make this kind of a design or decoration, if you will, for all of them. These holes help them absorb the syrup later on, the honey that is. And they're ready for baking. So we will put them in the preheated
Oven.
at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes, or until they're nice and brown. Meanwhile, we'll not stay lazy. We'll do the syrup with a cup of sugar and a cup of water and a cup of our honey. We're going to stir that only in the beginning, and then we're going to let it boil. You can also add a little bit of lemon juice, just a tablespoon or so. When it comes to a boil, we'll lower the heat at low and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And now for our final part. So we mix the ground walnuts with the rest of the cinnamon and the carnation. Prepare a nice Christmassy plate. You drop the Melomakarona in the syrup. Leave them there for 30 seconds and then turn on the other side so that they can absorb both sides, the syrup, and then turn them back and put them on your lovely plate. As soon as you're finished with your first row, what you want to do is sprinkle the walnuts generously on top of your Melomakarona. Same thing with your second row. And just pour any remaining syrup on top of your pyramid. Okay, this looks like a Melomakarona and it smells like a Melomakarona, but does it taste like a Melomakarona? And we have a winner! Yay! I was afraid that the apple scent would remain and that it wouldn't taste as a real Melomakarona does, but actually the cinnamon and the carnation covered it all up, and you cannot tell the difference between a normal honey Melomakarona and this one, which is vegan. 100%! So do try it! Thanks for watching! Bye!
Μόνο με το Melomakarona που να πει το παρασκευαστή.